Guys, how's it going? Stoud Man coming back at you again today. And today we are playing some more Euro Truck Simulator 2 because, believe it or not, I was shocked. Everybody wanted to see this more than anything else. This one got more votes than anything else. So, alright guys, if you want to see more Euro Truck Simulator 2, then let's do it. Today I'm also going to be talking about, while doing this trip, I'm going to be talking about some other things. Maybe some Crypticon, maybe some movie news that I just discovered. But first, let's find a good job to take here, shall we? That'll do. That'll do. Let us take the job. As it lags, just trying to get the thing going. So, I wanted to talk today about Tron 3. Because, just discovered something about Tron 3 that was very unpleasant to hear. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Haha, now I can see. Tron 3 has been canceled. If you didn't hear about it yet, I hate to be the one to break it to you, because I didn't want to have to hear this at all. But yep, sure enough, Disney has decided to cancel Tron 3 before it even went into production. They just said, nope, we're not going to do this. And, you know, it probably has something to do with the fact that Star Wars, they got Star Wars, and I feel like in a lot of ways Disney was trying to do a lot of the things that Star Wars was doing in the late 70s and early 80s. And I wouldn't say they failed in every attempt. I'd just say that they ended up creating new and different things, kind of one of them being Tron. And Tron wasn't necessarily successful at first, but eventually it became, you know, kind of a cult classic to a certain degree. So, you know, that warranted them making a sequel to it 20 some odd years later. And Tron Legacy came out, and I felt like it was a really, really good movie. Now, I believe I gave it a 9 out of 10 when it first came out. That's how much I loved it, and I still say to this day that it's one of the only movies, only examples of a 3D movie where they actually did properly use the 3D for a reason other than just looking cool. The 3D actually served a purpose in telling the story, because you only ever saw anything in 3D when it was when they were on the grid, essentially. So, you know, the fact that you only ever saw anything in 3D when it was on the grid kind of tells you that this is another world. It kind of helps to immerse you further into the movie. That might not have been the original intent of the addition of 3D, but I tell you what, at least it was used for a purpose other than just trying to look cool. The intent might have been to look cool, but it was used in such a way, implemented in such a way, that it was worth more and did more than just looking cool. It actually did help to aid in the telling of the story and the immersion factor and whatnot. So I thought Tron Legacy was really cool. I like Tron a lot. I like the series a lot. So it's really disappointing to hear that they've just given up on Tron 3. I mean, they had Garrett Hedlund on board, they had Olivia Wilde on board, everybody was on board to do this sequel, and they just elected not to do it. And, I mean, to a certain degree I can't blame them, because Tron, the first movie, wasn't very successful at first. It took a while for it to become more of a cult classic over the years. Tron Legacy was not as successful as they wanted it to be in the theaters, or even on DVD or Blu-ray, I would surmise, given the price of it right now on Blu-ray. But this to me is just it signifies to me that Disney is not willing to take a chance on this, even though they know that historically speaking, Tron movies, they do not do well at first, but eventually they become popular after the fact and all that. They didn't really give it enough of a chance to breathe, enough of a chance to become one of those cult classics, and maybe it never would have been a cult classic, but it would have been nice if they had given it more of a chance than they did. I'm very disappointed that they did not give it a chance. I hope this truck turns. Are you gonna turn up here? There are plenty of opportunities for you to turn. Oh, it's gonna turn. Oh, thank you. Alright. So yes, it's very disappointing that they're not going to be doing a Tron 3, because, you know, I wasn't the only one. I know a lot of people were excited to see Tron 3. I know a lot of people who loved Tron Legacy and the original Tron movie, and, you know, we wanted to see what happens next, and Tron Legacy was left so open-ended that, you know, anything could have happened. We don't know what was going to happen next. All we know is that there was an open-ended ending there where anything could have happened, and they could have gone in multiple different directions with it, and I would have been happy with multiple different directions with that sequel. So, yeah, I'm really unhappy that they decided to cancel it. Just outright cancel it. But I feel like they probably thought, well, we've got enough on our plates with Star Wars now. We're just going to keep doing a bunch of Star Wars movies and not try to do our own thing. I mean, I guess they figured that they're doing enough of their own thing in the animation division, but I don't know. It just seems like we're heading into another territory with another era of Disney where they're not really being creative. They're just trying to, you know, purchase things up and make money off of different properties that they have purchased. And, you know, it's disappointing, but it all kind of falls in line with what they're doing, doesn't it? I mean, oh. To be fair, I knew that was coming. Oh my goodness. Because I was going too fast and I didn't realize that, oh, I have to turn here. Because I was too busy talking about Tron 3 and how disappointed I am that it is not going to be a thing. There's every possibility that they are going to make Tron 3 later at some point. You know, that it's canceled for now, but that doesn't mean it's gone for good, and they'll just come back to it years from now. But years from now, they might not have the same director. Years from now, they might not have Garrett Hedlund and Olivia Wilde on board. Years from now, it's going to be a completely different movie. Jesus. So, yeah. A little disappointing. But, you know, there's still hope at the end of the tunnel, I guess. It's just, it's going to be a completely different movie if it ever does get made. And, yeah, I would have loved to see, like, a direct continuation that didn't have to pull too many strings to make something happen. So, yeah, a little disappointing. Anyways, what's the other movie news that happened this week? Ah! I can think of something immediately. Ninja Turtles, the new Ninja Turtles movie. We got our first shots of... Jesus, that car. Got our first shots of Bebop and Rocksteady in costume as their human counterparts, mind you. And our first look at the Shredder in costume. The interesting thing to note here about the Shredder is that he looks like the Shredder. Well, I wouldn't say he looks like the Shredder, but he definitely doesn't look like a Transformer. We'll put it that way. A lot of people are complaining that Shredder in the original TMNT movie that came out last year looked too much like a Transformer. He didn't look like the actual Shredder. He looked more like kind of like the Super Shredder from TMNT 2, right? From Secret of the Ooze. Honestly, he really looked like Secret of the Ooze Shredder to me. It might have been where they got the inspiration for that, but I don't know. I wouldn't have gone that way. But that's what they went with, and I didn't mind it too much. I felt like it was okay, you know. But this Shredder, it seems like they've kind of changed him a bit. I don't know if it's even the same Shredder as what we saw in the previous movie. Brian T. is playing the Shredder. You may remember from Fast and Furious films, Tokyo Drift in particular. And, you know, other films that I can't think of the name of right off the top of my head because I am a loser. But, he looked pretty good as the Shredder. Honestly, he was wearing a lot of, like, samurai gear. It wasn't necessarily, like, you know, traditional Shredder gear. It was more just him being, like, a hardcore samurai, which, or like a, you know, ninja or martial artist. Yes, thank you. Not racially insensitive terminology. A martial artist, yes. He was dressed like a hardcore martial artist, and it was nice to see that he wasn't like dressed to the nines and all kinds of Ginsu knife gear and whatnot. So, yeah, I kind of dig that direction if that's what they're going with. I didn't see anything on the suit that indicated that they were going to add anything later in CGI, but you know, it's a possibility that they will add things in there. It's just not a likely possibility given the way that they're doing mocap with everything else in the movie, including Krang. Apparently, rumor is Krang is going to be in TMNT 2, and he's going to be entirely CGI, so, you know, get ready for that. Apparently there are a bunch of people in mocap suits that were shooting a Krang scene, so that's cool. Bebop and Rocksteady looked pretty cool. Apparently, we don't have... This isn't like official as of recording this, but apparently Sheamus from the WWE is playing Rocksteady. An interesting choice, to say the least. And, what is it? I can't remember his name. He's the dad of that kid in the wheelchair in Malcolm in the Middle. But yeah, that guy is playing Bebop, and oh my god, he looks exactly like Bebop. He looks exactly like Bebop from the original animated cartoon. If you go and look at the pictures right now, all you got to do is look on Google and you'll see him. He looks exactly like the original Bebop from the cartoon, before he got mutated, of course. So, yeah, I was really happy to see that, because it was the first time I saw anything on the set of either of these Ninja Turtle movies that legitimately looked like something I had seen before in the Ninja Turtles lore. So I was like, I saw that and I was like, there's no way that any fan is going to see this and have a problem with this. Of course I was wrong, because there were a bunch of fans who came in and said, why aren't they mutated? Are they going to be a human being the whole time? They're supposed to be mutants. They're supposed to be a warthog and a rhinoceros. Why are they human? These people, apparently blinded by nostalgia, didn't remember that, yes, Bebop and Rocksteady started out as human beings and were later fucking mutated. So even then, even after everything, after they got everything right, yes, I got it right. My offense, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck! Even after everything, it's like, you can't please all fans because some fans, in this case, obviously, are fucking morons. I thought for sure this would please all the fans, but apparently I was wrong because some fans are just always going to be morons. Job completed. Good work. Even though I did a lot of damage to the freaking truck. Alright, I am now halfway to level 3. I did do some missions, I did some runs, I should say, in between videos, because I just wanted to play some more of this, and I felt like, well, this doesn't have to be like a complete playthrough of every little last bit that I do in here. So, hopefully I don't get too mad at me for that, but yeah. I elected to go my own route a little bit and do some stuff on my own, and I might do that again in the future, but for now, yeah, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me and talking about, sadly, the demise of Tron 3 and what looks to be the good fortune of seeing some pretty cool stuff on the set of TMNT 2. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.